Yeah, okay. So today's webinar, it's a kind of surprise for all of you. What are we going to do? Because I didn't mention, I just said like it's meeting, right? Today's webinar is going to be about how to remember the new words and how to learn faster and how to learn more and more words and how to use them and improve your vocab.
It's not only how to learn words, but how many words do we need at all, and why is it important? And is it important to know every word what we know, what we hear or read? So let's go. Word counts. How many English words are there? Guess.
Anybody wants to try? Like how many words are there in the world? Like everywhere.
English.
Using
I think a lot of
how many? Exactly. 1,000, 5,000, 1,000,000, or 10
I think
million.
a lot of I think around 5,000.
Okay, he says around 5,000. Vinita, what do you think?
I think a lot of words.
A lot of.
Okay, for me, 1,000 is lot. So how many? 100,000, 1,000,000, 500. Okay, let's not guess anymore. This is our number, 200,000. Is there anyone who knows this many words, this many English words in the world? Nobody. So where does it come from? We have around 200,000 words in dictionaries. Okay, they are listed.
Okay.
But there are a lot of words but we don't use, we don't need. For example, there is an engineer or an architect and they have special words, we don't have to know it. Now the second question. How many English words do English people know? What do you think? A native English speaker, how many English words do they know? Just guess again. Unmute yourself and tell me.
I think 100,000 people.
100,000 words? You think highly, very highly about the native English speakers. Okay, a bit less. Other opinions?
I think don't 100,000. I think the half.
Not bad. Yeah, other opinion? If no more, I will show you. Up to 20,000, but usually when somebody is well educated, they know 20,000. When they are not so well educated, they know 10,000 or even 5,000 words. Famous writers.
So this means like how many words do English people, for example, from the UK, right? How many words do they know when they communicate? Or what? How many numbers are in their English bank? 20,000, only 20,000.
This is the maximum. Most people don't know this many. Don't know. They know about 10,000 or 5,000. I lived in London. I know that most people don't speak more than 5,000 words. Really, what they need, they speak. Especially, for example, a nurse or a driver or a sales girl, they just don't speak very special words. That's it. Okay, let's go further. How many English words do you know? Now it's very personal. I think you know. How many words do you know, roughly?
Okay, Vinita, how many words do you know?
I think I know 5,000 words.
Wow. Then you are fluent.
Because I learned the spellings of dictionary.
Amazing.
Okay.
Others?
How many words do you know?
I know something 1,000 words.
1,000. Okay, pretty close. Because he is in level 3, so we teach like 300 words. So 3 multiplied 3 is somewhere around 1,000. Great.
It's true. Somebody who finishes our third level, they really know about 1,000 words.
So in one level, we have 300 words. So when you finish level 1, you add 300 words into your vocab. Okay. So those who are in level,
and I also complete level 3.
what's your question?
Okay, if nothing, I have a question. So, what do you think? How many English words do you need to communicate?
So the question is, how many words do you really need to know to communicate, to talk in English? How many words do you need? Just a guess.
How do you feel about it? It's enough if you tell how do you feel.
For example, let me help you. If you know 1,000 words, is it enough to communicate in English, or you have to know 5,000 words? How many words are enough to communicate in English?
I think 5,000 words.
Ah,
5,000
Around
okay.
5,000.
5,000.
Oh,
I can tell you 5,000, it's a very good English. But to communicate, it's enough 1,000. I had a friend I met her in London, and she was from Poland. She was a Polish girl, and she had a very poor vocabulary, altogether around 500 words, only 500. But she was totally fluent. She could express herself, she could explain anything. Because sometimes it's not about your vocabulary, it's about what you want to tell, can you tell? This is the question. So don't get discouraged when you don't know a word. It's not the end of the world. Okay, let's move on.
And the proof of that, like if you know 1,000 words, so those who are in level 3, like Mohit, Krishna, Nisha, I'm not sure, like level 4. So those who are above level 3 or in level 3, they can easily communicate, right? Like Mohit, Nama, and Vinita, Sohail, these students can already communicate. So that's the proof. Like you need at least 1,000 words to communicate, right, in English. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so many people use word cards to learn English. I had a lot of friends, they carried small paper cards, and one side was in English, the other side was in their mother tongue. For example, here you can see it's fancy, and if I turn it around, oops, sorry for it. So it's in Hindi. I have no idea what is this. Is it correct or not correct in Hindi? But I found in the translator.
How many students use, how many of you use this word in Hindi? Ever used? Have you? Never, yeah, but it's the translation. So it's about like learning the words, is translating the word good or not, right?
Yeah. So the question is it good if we translate? Because most of the people, you can see beautiful and you learn it the way that you translate it into Hindi and you understand, this is beautiful. Imran, help me.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question, do we need to translate or is it important to translate? How do we learn words? So translation, first of all, it's wasting time because when you speak to somebody, you simply have no time to translate in your mind. There is no time. And for example, I participated in conferences and there were translators, interpreters who translated from English to German, for example. And they had a lot of difficulty and I thought, oh my god, this guy doesn't speak proper German or proper English. Is it so slow? Then I realized because they can't translate a sentence word by word. It simply doesn't work.
Yeah. So the main idea is if somebody is saying or somebody is encouraging you to translate, or if you are doing that, you should be doing it. Yeah, say.
When we translate in Google and Google Translate to Hindi to English, but he is not in our mind.
Yeah, That's true, right? So translation is not a good method to learn any language. I'm not talking only about English. To learn any language, it's a waste of time. And that's why most people are not able to speak any language fluently because in their mind they are thinking, for example, in Hindi and they want to talk in English. That's waste of time. Okay, so if you guys, yes,
And the translate was not try to speak any other English.
yeah, true.
Yeah, Abhinita, you are right. Sometimes I had to laugh when I used the Google Translator because it translates crazy things for me. So it's not accurate. It's always inaccurate. Why? Why? I can show you. Because how do we speak in English or in Hindi or in another language? We have English brain and we have another area for the other language. So it means that you can't mix the two. It's not working. So you either think in English or in Hindi or in other language. I don't know what language. Imran?
Okay, Manisha, what do you think about this one? When you are in one side of your mind, I don't see you. Where are you, Manisha? So, what do you think, like using in the one side of your brain Hindi and the other side English? So, do you think it's an effective way to speak fluently or not? It's not effective.
Yeah. So my question: when you speak in English, do you think in English as well?
Yes.
So
Okay. How many of you think in English when you want to communicate? Just be honest, okay? Be honest. How many of you translate in your mind?
No, I cannot translate.
Okay, you can't translate because she practiced a lot, I guess, thinking. Vinita, do you translate when you communicate?
No, I don't translate, but my school teachers asked to me make sentences Hindi to English, so I'll translate.
Then never do that, please. That's.
But she has to do it because the teacher wants it.
Yeah, you can do because the teacher wants, but never do that. Like, if you have to translate from one language to another, it's pretty waste of time. Okay.
Yeah.
Try to think in English, okay? Because we are learning a language. We are not doing the translation, okay? Anybody else thinks?
And
in Hindi?
how often do you think in English when you are alone or something like this? During one day, for example, do you think in English always or in Hindi always and sometimes in English? Or how does it go?
Okay, Manisha, do you think in English all the time or sometimes or quite often?
In English all the time.
Yeah, pretty good.
Imran, you? Imran?
Yeah, for me, like I understood this way of learning English at the very beginning when I started to learn English, right? So I completely stopped thinking in English, not in English, but in Hindi. Yeah. So for example, when I already explained it to you, like how to think in English, so that you can be fluent. Okay. So when you are sitting, you just describe the room, thinking in English. You are not even speaking. Right? Okay, Mohit, how often do you think in English? All the time, sometimes, or never?
Not all the time.
All the time in English.
I can observe any things and make other sentences in my mind and translate in English. And
Fantastic. I can't believe you guys, like you are speaking like you have been learning English. If you are in China, like I would say like you have been learning English for 5-6 years, because students in China, they learn for 6 to 7 years and they speak exactly the same way you are speaking. So you are doing a fantastic job. Very good.